All right, what's going on, everyone? Chris the Chef Sports Cards here. Apologize for the late start. My computer froze up on me for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, we're here now. We're ready to break, so let's do this. Um, we're doing 2023 Bowman Draft Quarter Jumbo Case Break number 16. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Especially if you're new to the channel, welcome. But about us, we've been around for over 6 years now. We break mostly baseball. We ship all cards from every break. We're very generous with the top loading. We ship as quickly as our little hands will move. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We do free breaks. When we do them, we use our subscriber list from YouTube for the random. If you want a chance to get into a future free break, all you have to do is hit the old subscribe button there. Your name will go on the random, and who knows? In fact, we got one coming up at January 31st, so you still got time to get your name in if you're not yet a subscriber. eBay continues with their sweepstakes. There's no purchase necessary there. Go to any of our eBay listings. Look in the description at the very top. There's a link. You click on there. Follow whatever rules or regulations they have to join, and who knows, you can win some free cards. So go check that out. And as always, check out chefsportscards.com. All right, let's go over the teams. D-backs, Todd P. Braves, Rich L. Orioles, Daniel O. Excuse me. Red Sox, John C. Cubs, Brian B. White Sox, Jacob C. Reds, Todd P. Guardians, Doug P. Rockies, Rich L. Tigers, Dale K. Royals, Doug P. Astros, Manny M. Angels, Gary P. Dodgers, William W. Brewers, John T. and Twins, Chris F. Marlins, Doug P. Mets, Thomas M. Yankees, Nico M. A's, Rich L. Phillies, Jacob C. Pirates, Ryan W. Cardinals, William W. Padres, Doug P. Giants, Rich L. Mariners, Troy E. Rays, Miri 49. Rangers, Lance M. Blue Jays, Brandon W. And Nationals, Exposed TB12 spot, Doug P. What's up, boys? Thanks for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. Rich, Chris, how are you? Troy and, well, Yankees rule, of course. All right, let's do this. Let me fix this. I want to, a sec, I can put the football game back on. Did the Rams score there? I am rooting for the Lions just out of, just be nice to see them win. I don't really have an allegiance towards either, but I feel like the Lions deserve it. They've suffered a long time. Oh, they're running into the Rams is tough, man. The Rams are one of the hottest teams coming into the playoffs. Let's open some cards. Come on, Yanks. You got it, buddy. Oh, they got the field goal. Oh, Detroit's still hanging on. Come on, Detroit. You need a touchdown, baby. 8 minutes left. All right, here we go. Good luck, everybody. Oh, you know, I think we're good. We're good. We're good. Waltrip, Mitchell, Meyer. Come on. Sometimes these gloves are a real pain. Homer Bush. Okay, chromes of Jacob Gonzalez, Honeyman, Dunno, Meyer, Keishel. For the Mariners, Johnny Farmello, a Bowman glass to 150, 75 of 150. For Troy, rounders there. Drew Jones, transformative talent, refractors of Gonzalez and Quinn McDaniel. Oh, they had to punt it away. Come on, Detroit. Killing me. I'll tell you what, man. Again, and I said this earlier, not that football's not always entertaining, but these games, playoff games, have been very entertaining thus far. Quistad, Farmello, Tommy Troy. Colt Emerson. Chromes of Vargas, Cross, Davis, Vredenberg, Mercedes. Hero Wyatt for Kansas City on the Aqua. Colton Ledbetter, draft night. Jace Jung and Yasser Mercedes, refractors. Kansas City is Doug. I love those Bowman glass cards. I think they're one of the best inserts they've come up with in quite a while. I really do. Even just the base ones, I just think they're very, very cool looking. Eldritch. Sim. George. Schemes. Chromes of Arroyo, Jung, Morgan, McDaniel, and Clark. Refractors of Cole Miller. Ooh, Paul Skeens. Jackson Churio draft picks. And Jace Borifin. For Brandon. Go, buddy. If you haven't been in one of these with us before, in a Bowman break with us before, if you're new, we sleeve and top load hits, parallels, variations, and just like everyone does. We also sleeve and top load top chromes and all first refractors. You'll see me pull the good guys out and sleeve them, and like a lot of the chromes you'll see me take out, but all first refractors get sleeved and top loaded. Who knows? You never know who's going to be good one day, you know? And then you're going to go, man, thank God this dude top loaded that thing for me. That card's worth like $40. At the time, you know, he was a 12th round draft pick. Who knew? Santana, and Craig, and Jackson Merrill on the back. All right, chromes of Gonzalez, Wyatt, Haas, Abner, Young. Gutierrez refractor. Adrian Santana refractor. Nice one there. And Ty Pete on the Bowman glass. Putting the whole set together for Seattle, we are. Adrian Santana, nice first round. Nice first rounder. Yeah, he looked mighty pissed in that game. How horrible for that guy McCarthy. I mean, it's funny. I don't know how closely you guys were paying attention to the game, but the announcer, one of the announcers, I don't know which one, said, you know, he looked at coaches like if I fire this coach, will people line up to hire him? And of course, the line. That dude has been 12-5 for the last 3 seasons. And I get it. It's Jerry Jones. He's, a wackadoo. And I mean, it's his team. He's allowed to be Tommy Troy. But yeah, I can't imagine he's going to survive that loss. Andrew Walters Refractor. Christian O'Pair. Celestine Transformative Talent. And Jacob Cravey 132 of 250. Hate the Cowboys? Really? You thought so? It's funny. I kind of thought they were rooting for him, but I don't know. I'm an Eagles fan, so I hate the Cowboys too. So it was quite enjoyable for me. But I don't know. I usually feel like the announcers are kind of on their side, but I just feel bad for that guy. I mean, he'll get picked up somewhere, obviously. And I mean, I don't know. If I was Belichick, I think I would check out of the NFL at this point. Like, I think that he should retire and call it a career because, I get that he was the genius in New England, but the time that Tom Brady has been gone has just proven that Tom Brady is the reason why they won all those Super Bowls and not Belichick. I mean, don't get me wrong. He hasn't had a Tom Brady, but, he's supposed to be the ultimate head coach, can coach up anyone, this and that, and he's proven that he can't, So maybe it's time for Belichick just to kind of bow out and go, man, what a career. Because otherwise I just feel like he's setting himself up to people go, well, yeah, he was good when he had Tom Brady, but, Abner Aqua for the D-backs for Todd. Tommy Troy draft pick. Torin and Bryce Eldridge refractor. Nice refractor there. No problem, man. I'll do the best I can for you, my friend. Hey, man, when you're born and raised in Philly, the Cowboys hate is, drilled into you from a very young age. You have no choice. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, if you take and again, I understand that. Um, I don't know. Like, you, oh my god, my wife's freaking out. What happened? I hear her screaming. Yeah, I mean, like you said, to break the record, maybe it's worth doing another year, but I don't know. Dylan Head refractor. Valdez refractor. Paul Skeens transformative talent and Joe Whitman for the Giants. We haven't seen him before. Rich L. Joe Whitman, second rounder, 69th overall. Yeah. See, Troy, I have absolutely nothing against a born and raised Dallas fan. Not a thing in the world. I respect you to death. It's the people from Maine who root for Dallas because they won Super Bowls when they were a kid. Those people bother me. Like and look, there's other teams I don't like too. There's plenty of them, but I have all the respect in the world for every person who was born and raised in a city and roots for their team. It's the people and you're like, oh, did you live in Dallas? Nope, never even been there in my life, but I'm a diehard Dallas fan. You're like, why? You know, those are the people that drive me nuts. And like I said, not just Dallas. That's like Yankees fans, guys from Arizona who's a huge Yankees fan. You're like, what? It's not easy being a Cowboys fan these days, man. It's been a long time since they've had some success, playoff success. Homer Bush, Walton, DePaula, Thornton, Nevins, and Seth Keener, Jacob Wilson, draft Knight, Camilo Davis, and Kevin Sim refractors. Yeah, those. Did you see the cards that Melendez wants? They're awesome. They're really nice. Now, are they going to be in regular Dynasty or are they doing a WBC Dynasty? That's what I was kind of curious about, is if it's an add-in to the regular Dynasty set. The one with the like ball relic is a really cool looking card. For anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, MJ Melendez, the player for the Royals, Marion Boyd, and Max Anderson for Detroit, 55 of 125. He was signing his dynasty cards, and he sent a tweet to Topps asking to keep his one of ones. One is in his Puerto Rico uniform from WBC. I think the other one was a WBC card too. Dale K. There you go, nice Max Anderson. So then he tweeted that anybody who pulls those cards, Dylan Jorge and Luke Schillinger on the refractor, anybody who pulls those cards, if you contact him, he'll fly you to Kansas City to a game and put you up for a weekend, and then he wants to make a trade for those or buy them or whatever. So if you got the money to open Dynasty and you hit one of those, give old MJ a call. Colin Houck and Jacob Gonzalez. Yeah, both are WBC cards, right? But they're Dynasty. They're in the Dynasty set of some sort. Like they didn't kind of make that clear as to whether they're an insert, they're in regular Dynasty or if they're doing a WBC Dynasty. Hunter Holland, Gabriel Gonzalez, Gordon, and Clemmy refractors. Either way, they're cool. Both of them are very cool cards. So I'd want them too if I was him. The other thing, going back to the Dallas thing, Jerry Jones is getting up there. He's in his 80s at this point. I'm sure he's itching to see a championship before he shuffles off this mortal coil, which I'm sure in his mind he's probably gonna live forever. But he's a little, he's starting to feel time, so that might have something to do with why he fires him. I really, that'd be amazing to me. But you know how football is, man. They don't last long. That's for sure. Kemp Alderman, 98 of 499. Hey, Doug Peterson won us the Super Bowl, and he was gone 2 years later, whatever it was, 3 years later. And at the rate Sirianni's going, I don't know if he's going to make it out of this year, and he was in the Super Bowl last year. Doug, there you go, bud. Jonah Cox, Merrill, Churio, Ahuna, Jay Bashirs, Jesus Baez, Max Clark, and True Blue. Wow, for the Phillies, this dude's awesome. Tayshawn Walton. It's his first auto we've actually pulled. He's a monster, this kid. He could play linebacker for the Eagles while he plays outfielder for the Phils. 120 of 150, Tayshawn Walton. He's got the Phils. Jacob, nice hit, buddy. That's a good one. One of the non-first rounders. That's a good one to get. Telling you, hold on to this, dude. couple years, you'll be happy you got it. 120 of 150. Very nice. All right, last pack of box one. Horvath, Davis, all right, Chromes of Showwetter, Acuna, Langford, Campbell, Bonilla, Ramirez, Jacob Wilson draft picks, refractors of Cole Young and Hunter Haas. All right, let me move a little cards here. Have a minor avalanche on my hands in a second. Sunday. Okay. Let's not do that. YouTube will have my ass. All right, box number 2. I'll tell you one thing, and this isn't, this is, any Green Bay fans out there have got to feel good about themselves right now. Not just with the win today, but the way that team looks, man. How many times you see teams come into the playoffs that maybe didn't have the best years, but just start playing hot at the right time? Man, Jordan Love he looked unstoppable today. I always think about, what was it, 2009 season with New England and the Giants, the perfect season and all that. And what were the Giants, like 9-7 when they got in the playoffs? But they were just playing amazing at that time. Oh, yeah. I had a redemption show up today from Prism or from Panini, of all people. I had no idea. Like, it just showed up out of the blue. It was I don't even know what it was. A Japanese player. I don't even remember getting the redemption. I think it was from a couple of years ago. I mean, unfortunately, it wasn't, anybody who's actually signed over here, but it was so odd. Like, I got a message that FedEx had dropped a package off Max Clark from Panini, and I was like, what? And there was a redemption just sitting there. Princessa refractor. Colin Houck refractor. Nice one there. Drew Jones, transformative talent, and for the Padres, Doug, image variation, Ethan Salas, a very nice hit, my friend. This card is worth a few dollars. It's a good one. That thing's awesome. Congrats. Very nice. Congrats, Doug. Nice one. All right. What do we got here? This guy here. Oh, shoot. Stop it. All right. That was a good one to start with. It's like our weird jumbo box from the other night. You know what the crazy part of that whole jumbo box with the 2 image variations back to back in it is? The guy who had Texas hasn't paid for that spot. And I mean, I know Texas is an expensive spot, but you're like the card's worth more than what the cost, and he still wasn't paid for it. Braden Taylor, Winokur, Spinoza, Johnson, Alderman, Pinkney, Ledbetter, Jack Hurley, and Jackson Churio refractors. So we had a super jumbo box the other night that had two image variations, one Drew Jones and one Wyatt Langford, back to back, out of place in the pack. So I wasn't really paying attention. And everyone pointed out the Wyatt Langford one at first. And one guy, Jeremy, was like, I think that Drew Jones was one too. And he had said it right when we were going off. So I went back and checked. And I was like, oh my God, he's right. So that was a first. I've never seen that happen before. Oh man, are they in the V for victory? Is that it? Detroit walking out with this thing? Good for them. All right, chromes of Mayer, Montez, Ledbetter, Engel, Acuna. Refractors of Crawford, Ceballos, Jackson Churio draft picks, and Tommy Hawk. Tommy Hawk for the Guardians for Doug. Yeah. Yeah, youngest team. Yeah, I heard them say that. I tell you what, man, that whole draft class of quarterbacks. I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. Not everybody's having their best years of this or that, but man, that is that draft class has produced, and you couldn't be surprised. I know he was the one who was kind of sitting on the bench all this time behind Rodgers and everything, but and it took him a little bit to get going, but man, he looked really good today and has ever since Thanksgiving. It's funny too because I've only seen a few Packer games this year, and I happened to see the Thanksgiving game when I was out in Tennessee, and ever since then he's been just on fire, man. And that's what you need. I mean, in all sports it's that way, but football even more so. Like you get on a roll and get hot going into the playoffs like that, man, you roll over people, not even, they won't even see you coming. Williams, Lindsay, hey, Farmello again on the Bowman glass. Reimer and Elijah Green refractors. Farmello base this time. How much do they still owe Rodgers? Like, is he, I mean, I'm sure whatever it is, it's significant, but is Rodgers going to come back for the Jets next year? Is he planning on continuing to play? I feel like I asked this question a couple years ago, but I don't, or a couple weeks ago, but I don't know if anyone answered it. Does anybody know for sure? I mean, I've never heard him say anything about retiring, but blowing your Achilles is a pretty major injury for any sport, especially football and when you get up there in years, Drew Jones, Basallo refractor, Ty Floyd refractor, Cam Collier draft picks, Alfred Dunno, 5 of 125 for the Reds. 2 more years? That's what he says, huh? I always think, and granted, different sports, I get it, but I always think about, what's his name from the Phillies, Brian Howard. And I mean, you talk about night and day blowing an Achilles. And again, different sports, different men, so on and so forth. But it was so stupid when he did it, for one. And I mean, you look at his stats before the Achilles injury and after, and I mean, it is amazing the difference between the two. He's still, I'm pretty sure he's still like the fastest guy to get to 200, 250, 300 home runs. And then it's like, he blew that Achilles and he was just done. And granted, he wasn't horrible. Don't get me wrong, but he wasn't what he was. Anything even close. I hope he comes back. I'd love to see how he does with the Jets. I know some people aren't his biggest fan. And like I said, I didn't really know him at all other than hearing the stories of him being crazy and stuff like that until I watched that um, that HBO show. And I mean, not that I'm sure that's a full accounting of him, but I did like him a little more after watching that. Cam Fisher, Aqua, and Cole Carrig for the Rockies. Bradfield and Brendo Maya, refractors. I mean, the Jets have a decent team, and I mean, what's his name? Wilson, he gets flashes sometimes. I mean, they weren't horrible this year. I mean, certainly could have been better, but be really interesting to see him as quarterback there, what he can do. Because that's when you wonder, like, is it just the franchise is cursed? Like, I'm sorry, it's hard to say. It's terrible to say that, especially for anybody who's a Jets fan. But you got to feel like you got a black cloud over your head after that injury. Like, can't we get anything to go our way? It's crazy. I mean, at least here in Philly, we just lose, but we take a shot, you guys just like don't even get a shot. Crazy. Really? He was ready to come back already? Wow. From a ruptured Achilles? That's amazing. Wow. That's amazing. All right. Chromes of Hawk, Pete, Wastad, and Coupe. Another Coupe refractor. Brett Lauder refractor. Nice first rounder there. Max Clark transformative talent. And, for Boston. Nice one there. Nazana Zanatello. John C. Nice hit, my friend. Another non-first rounder. It's a nice one. 76 of 250, my friend. Yeah. Look, I mean, there's a lot of people who are long-suffering fans of different teams. Look at the Lions. I'm so happy they won this game. I don't have anything against the Rams. I don't have a dog in this fight, but 30 years for a home playoff game, it just doesn't seem right. That's why I'm so happy they were able to pull it out. So whoever wins the Eagles game tomorrow night will play Detroit, right? Isn't that because the Packers have to go to San Francisco now, right? All right. I'm okay with that. The Eagles could right themselves. Who knows, though? They're a mess. Davis, Meyer, Tommy Troy, Colt Emerson, and Paul Wilson for Detroit. 61 of 499. It is amazing how teams get not necessarily just reputation, but like just follow some of these, Dallas and their inability to win in the playoffs, or the Dodgers and their inability to win in the playoffs. I mean, I know they won a championship a few years ago, but that was in the COVID year. It doesn't really count in my book. But Jacob Wilson, Ty Pete, and Almeida refractors, like, and you wonder how much is confidence in sport. I mean, I realize confidence is important in sports, but you would think on the professional level, it'd be like, yeah, I'm a professional athlete. I don't, of course I'm confident, but it's almost like, like today with Dallas, it's like predetermined almost. And I know like Dallas fans don't want to hear that. And I don't think that way. I don't I said, I mean, I didn't have a dog in that fight either. I'm not a Dallas fan, but if they won, they won. If they didn't, they didn't. But it's almost like it's, they're serving a jail sentence or something. You won too many in the 90s. Now you got to wait 40 years to even get close again. Xavier Isaac for the Rays, 112 of 199. Well, yeah, they were saying at the beginning of the Detroit. What did Chris Collinsworth he said? He said they've won one playoff game in our lifetime. Oh. All right. Chromes of Schillinger, Carrig, Jorge Gutierrez. Eight. James Wood, refractor. AJ Ewing, refractor. Celestine and Jace Jung, 106 of 250 for Detroit. For Dale. Well, that was like last night. I said I saw that thing on Instagram that said, I'm sure somebody else saw it too, but it said teams that have won a baseball playoff game since the invention of the iPad, and every single team has won except for the Angels. Hasn't won a playoff game since the invention of the iPad. I mean, who thinks of that? First of all, like what a random thing to compare it to, but that seems like a long time. iPad's been around for quite a while now. Sometimes you got to check these Instagram things too. They're not always, they're not always accurate. All right. Chromes of Santana, Diaz, Miller, Head, Skeens, Valdez, Tommy Troy draft picks, Engel, and Montez refractors. You know the Jung family? Really? Are they from your area down there where you live? Down in the Dallas area? I mean, I know, what's the name, plays for the Rangers, but is that where they're from originally? Wilson Bergola. All right, Chromes of Woods. Eldritch. Where are these every which direction? Engel. This is strange. Torin. Okay. Let's go this way. Timur Johnson refractor. Andrew Pinkney refractor. Skeens transformative talent. And Andrew Pinkney for the Nationals for Doug. Andrew Pinkney. Oh, really? That's cool. Yeah, a kid who my son played with just got drafted this past year, Kevin McGonigal. And my son played with him for years. He got drafted in the first round. Be interesting to watch him come up, especially when you know him from so young. You know what I mean? Like I knew this kid like in minors little league, you know. And I got to be honest, he knew he was going to be a player back then. My son played with him on travel teams and perfect game stuff and all that kind of stuff around in the Philadelphia area. And it's weird when you kind of go like, "Hey, I know that kid." You know? I was kind of hoping he was going to be in draft. He wasn't in draft. I think he's going to be in Bowman. All right. Why are they doing this back and forth? Walters, Pinkney, O'Pear, Johnson, DeLeo, Arias, Jacob Wilson, Draft Night, and Winokur and De Los Santos, Refractors. All righty. That will do it. I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. As always, I couldn't do this without you, and I do truly appreciate it. We'll be back probably Friday, maybe Thursday next week, but we'll still have a full weekend of breaks. Like I said, a lot of new stuff coming out. We got Bowman's Best next week. We got Leaf Metal coming out next week. Plus, we'll have more draft. Some more of those Heritage High Number blasters that we just killed it in before this. Plus some other stuff. So keep an eye out. Otherwise, please stay safe, stay healthy out there. And bear with me a sec. We'll put a hit recap together. All righty. Hit recap for 2023 Bowman Draft quarter jumbo case break number 16. As I said before, we do top load all first refractors, but here's some stuff that I pulled out, some chromes and such, which we'll make sure gets sleeve and top loaded. Davis, Meyer, Gonzalez, Langford, Zanatello, Troy, Clark, Taylor, Eldridge, Skeens, Santana, Carrig, and Louder. And some refractors, Skeens, Santana, Eldridge, Hauk, Louder, and Enrique Bradfield. We had two base Bowman Glass, Fermello and Ty Pete. And then we had the refractor, or mini diamond, I'm sorry, 75 of a 150 on the Johnny Farmella. Paper parallels, Xavier Isaac to a 199. Kemp Alderman to 499. Paul Wilson to 499. Unnumbered refractors, two Aquas, Hero Wyatt and Philip Abner. Gabriel Gonzalez, Cam Fisher, and Cole Carrig for the Rockies. Other numbered parallels, Jace Jung to 250. Jacob Cravey to 250. Max Anderson to 125. Alfred Dunno to 125. And we had the Ethan Salas image variation for the Padres. Very cool card. Autographs, base of Tommy Hawk, Joe Whitman, Andrew Pinkney, Jace Borafin. Very nice Zanatello to 250 for the Red Sox, and Tayshawn Walton Blue to 150 for the Phils. All right, folks, again, thanks so much for joining me. Have a safe and healthy week, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.